Hi lovelies and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Juliet. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 7 must-haves for card making for 2026. Okay, number 1 on my list is a MISTI. Okay, now if you don't know what a MISTI is, this is a MISTI. Okay, now a MISTI is basically a stamping tool which holds your stamps in place so that you can double stamp. Okay, so if you are using acrylic blocks to stamp, that's great. But if you're someone like me that likes to double stamp just to get a crisper image with your ink, then I do recommend a MISTI. Now, if you haven't seen how a MISTI is used, I will link a video below where I use a MISTI to make a card. Basically, what you do is you pop your white cardstock there, you've got your magnet there, you put your stamp here, and then you can double stamp, okay? It is such a handy tool and it is a game changer. If you are making a lot of cards, this will make it so much easier and quicker. Now with the MISTI, I always use my Memento ink so that I can use my alcohol markers, okay? Memento ink is an ink that works well with alcohol markers. You must be really careful because some inks don't work well with alcohol markers, so just be careful with the type of ink that you're using. If you're using like a water-based ink, then Memento ink is not for you. It does not like water-based inks, but it is great with alcohol markers, and that's what I use. My second recommendation is a Cricut trimmer. Now you may be saying to me, Juliet, hang on a minute, I thought we were recommending for card making. Yes, we are, but this is my number 1 used tool in my craft room is a Cricut trimmer. I use this for cutting down white cardstock for stamping, or for cutting down coloured stock and white cardstock for making my own cards, okay? It is fabulous. It is a trimmer that has both inches at the top. If you can see, it's got inches and centimetres. It does have an arm that expands out, okay? And also, not only is it a cutter, but it's a scorer as well. So you can score your cards with it. So you've got a 2-for-1 right there, okay? Great tool. Great if you also do other crafts like I do. If you like to do Cricut crafts, things like that, or other scrapbooking and things like that, this comes in so handy. I absolutely love it, and it's cheap, which is brilliant, okay? Love this trimmer, cuts beautifully, and with the arm, super handy. And because I work in centimeters, it works for me, but I know a lot of you do work in inches, so you've got that as well. So that's number 2. Okay, lovelies, my next one, number 3, might be a little bit unusual, but baby wipes, okay? I use these for everything. I use it for wiping my stamps, which is why I'm recommending it in this video. And I also use it for cleaning my room. So for wiping windowsills, wiping my tables, that sort of thing. Absolutely everything and anything gets wiped with these, okay? So since I have had children, they're well past the wipe stage, but I still get them regularly because I absolutely adore them. And I keep this in my craft room. Now, when I started card making, I did purchase a stamp chamois. I thought, okay, I need a stamp chamois to clean my stamps. I don't use it. I used it a few times, then I went, oh, it's so annoying. I just use the wipes. So this is my next recommendation. Also, it's really great for cleaning. So you can use it around your house. I use it to wipe my kitchen benches, absolutely everything. I love these wipes. The other thing I would recommend is to get a dispenser though, because it makes it super easy to grab. Okay, so you get a dispenser, but I will link that below for you. But this is the brand that I use. I'll try and link this one below. If it's not on Amazon, I will link a very similar one for you, but they are fabulous and they do clean your stamps really, really well. Okay, so the next one you may have seen, this is actually like a nail tool. It's really pretty though, because it's got like little pink crystals in it. I love it. Anyway, so it's used for nail art, for picking things up, because it's got a wax tip. Now, I bought this one on Amazon and I've had it for maybe almost 2 years now. It came with 2 spare heads, which is brilliant because I'm actually due to replace mine. But I looked recently and now it comes with 2 pens as well. So it's extra handy. What I use these for is for picking up embellishments to put on cards, because particularly the really small ones, even with, I've got short fingernails and I find it hard to pick them up. This is great because it can pick it up. You put the little glue where you want it on your card, and then you can put your embellishment on the card. It just makes it so much easier to do. And there's no sort of fiddling around with your fingers and having it slide all over the card. It'll pick it up and put it exactly where you want it. The other end, if the embellishment goes down on the card and you're not happy with its placement, you could use this end to move it, because that's what it is for. It's used for nail art, so you can use that to move it around. But that's really handy, and it's a very cheap item. And like I said before, the company now gives you 2 of these. So it's an absolute bargain. I only got 1 when I ordered mine. So now you can get 2, which is great. You can buy 1 and give 1 to a friend. What a great gift. What a pretty gift. Okay, the next one might be a little bit obvious, but I'm just going to include it anyway, because when I card make, I use all different types of glue, okay? My common one that I use is the 3D dots to give my die cut. So now that's when you cut out your stamp shape or your little stamp image with a metal die, okay? Now you can add a 3D dot just to bump it up and give it a little bit more dimension. So I use these quite regularly, and actually I do need to order some more. 3D dots are great. The other thing that I use a lot is, this is a Tombow double-sided tape. So if I am gluing down a bigger image, so if I've cut out a shape on my Cricut that I want to glue down on my card, I use my double-sided tape because it's just super easy. Run it down, line it up, stick it on, and a lot less messy too. So this one's really, really good for bigger shapes, or if you're putting a card panel onto a card, this is what I would be using. Finally, I use, well, actually just by pure coincidence, this is a Tombow as well, Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. Now it has a precision tip there. If you can see, it's got a little precision tip, which is great for those smaller pieces that you want to glue down, but it also does have a bigger end as well. So great, because it's got the option there for you to use it for bigger pieces and those smaller pieces, but you do always need some liquid glue, and it is hard to find one that has got a precision tip, particularly in Australia for some reason. I don't know why, but I did come across this one at my local craft store, but you can also get it on Amazon. This next item, I had regrets initially when I put it in my card before it arrived. I thought, oh my gosh, what have I done? This is, oh my goodness, I haven't done the right thing, but I did. This is my mini C6. Now it's a C6 side kicker, okay? It is a small die cutter, and this is all I need. Now, when I purchased this, I think I paid about $119 Australian. I saw on Amazon the other day that it has it in different colors, and the different colors have different prices. But the cheapest price was a black one for $89. This is a die cutter, lovelies. How cheap is that? It does have its own ability to suction to the table so it doesn't move. It is tiny. It doesn't take up much room like those really big really big die cuts. If you're new to card making and you don't know if you're going to continue it for a long time or do a lot of it, I recommend this. I do a lot of card making, and I wouldn't buy a bigger one. This is all I need. I don't use those really big die cuts that you need the bigger machines for. I just don't use it. All I use are the small die cuts for my little images. If I want to cut out shapes, I either cut them out by hand or I cut them out on my Cricut. But this is all you need. Honestly, do not go and buy an expensive cutting machine. This works brilliantly. Like I said, I've had it for ages. I have just recently bought some new plates for it. I don't need to replace the plates yet, but I probably will in the next, maybe in the next 6 months or something like that. But I just wanted to make sure that I had them on hand. Honestly, lovelies, this little machine just keeps going and going. Every time I look at it, I have to chuckle because I was so afraid that I'd actually bought something and been totally had, because I didn't think it'd be this great. I love it. And if you do not have a die cutter and you're sitting there going, is it worth it? Yes, it is, but do not buy those big ones. Just get this little guy. He's so cute. He does the job and I love him. And honestly, I feel so sorry because I had absolute remorse. It's like, oh my gosh, I've been absolutely had. But no, it's the best thing. And, you know, just because it's little doesn't mean it's not going to do the job. Doesn't take up much space. We all love that, lovelies. And he's great, okay? This is one of my favorite things in my craft room. And I love him. He's so small and he does a beautiful job. Okay. Last but not least, a lovely way to save money, which we're all looking at trying to do, particularly these days in crafting, is to be able to make your own cards. Okay, you don't need to purchase pre-made cards to then decorate. Don't do it. It's not the way to go. I will also, actually, I'm hoping the video has already gone up. I haven't made it yet, but I will be making a way to make your own envelopes as well. One of my lovely subscribers asked me to do a video on that, and I will be doing that because I think that's an absolutely fabulous idea. So have a look. I'm hoping it's already up. If it's not, keep your eye out for it. It will be coming. What you need is, you do need some basic white cardstock. So you've got a base to make your own cards at home. You can make them whatever size you like, okay? And then obviously you can make your own envelopes as well by watching my video. So you've got your own white cardstock here, so you can make your own cards. Also, I use my white cardstock for stamping my images as well. So it has a lot of uses, this one, but you do need to make sure it's thicker. Now this one says 176. That's the thickness. It's like, I suppose, a lot of different cardstock comes in different thicknesses, but you just want to make sure that the cardstock you get is thick enough. I will try and link this one below. I should be able to link this one below, the one that I have here and the one that I use. Now, the other thing that I'd like to show you is still cardstock, but another thing I find really handy, sorry lovelies, this is really heavy, is this is a coloured cardstock. Now I've got 2 packs in here of the same colours, okay? So I just keep it on handy. Also, it's really good for my kids' school assignments and things like that, so I always whip out these. Now also on top I've got some craft paper as well. Now I use that a lot, so that's just like that, you know, like that craft cardstock, okay? So that's super handy, not necessarily for card making, but you can use it for that. But let me just get out some of these colors just so that you can see. Okay, so you've got that's not all of them, okay, lovelies, but that's a myriad of colors that comes in this pack. Now, I will link it below because I use it a lot for just sort of like setting the scene on my card. So whether that be like a sand dune, hills, snow, that sort of thing, you don't need necessarily to have stencils to do all these things, okay? I will do another video on ways to stencil without buying stencils, because I don't have stencils, but I have just recently started to get into ink blending. If you saw my video on my top 7 Amazon recommendations for craft organization, you will have seen that I've got only 4 Memento dewdrops, I think they're called, the ink pads. And I've only recently just got into ink blending, but I don't have stencils. I make my own. I make my own on my Cricut and use what I have around at home. So I will do a video on that showing you that. However, I do also use my coloured cardstock to help sort of set the scene. Have a look at what you've got at home and what you can use, and try and get inventive so that you are saving money when you are making your crafts. But if you are looking for cardstock to make cards, just make sure it's 180 GSM. It's got a little bit more hold. You don't want it to be too flimsy, okay? So as long as it's 180 GSM, it's fine. With coloured cardstock, if you're just using it to sort of create the scene, like I said, and you're not using it to create cards, then the GSM doesn't matter so much. But if you are using the coloured cardstock to create cards from, just make sure that you've got a cardstock that has a thick enough hold, like 180 GSM, so that you know that that card will be able to stand up on its own. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've really loved having you here and having a chat about my top 7 recommendations for card making. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up if you've had fun hanging out with me. I am also currently moving this craft room, my small space, into a proper room. This isn't really a room, it's just a small area. I'm moving into our spare bedroom. So if you've had fun today, I'd love it if you could give this video a big thumbs up. Comment below which was your favorite item, which was your favorite recommendation today, or whether you have a different recommendation that you get from Amazon, so that we can all share our ideas together. I really enjoy doing these videos and I hope you like watching. So if you do, stick around and I will see you in the next one. Bye.